Next news. Breaking news from the White House.
Gary Franchi here at the White House, just outside the James Brady briefing room, and we can officially report that President Trump dropping a bombshell that has the globalist establishment in full panic mode. When asked about America's future in NATO, the president looked at that reporter dead in the eye and said 5 words that changed everything. I don't need Congress. And folks, what he revealed about our so-called allies during the Iran operation, it is going to make your blood boil. Now, here's why this matters for you and your family. You see, for decades, American taxpayers have been the ATM machine for the entire Western world. We've spent trillions protecting countries that won't lift a finger when we need help. Your tax dollars, your hard-earned money, funding the defense of nations that just told President Trump, thanks, but we're not helping, while our military is in harm's way in the Middle East. Germany said no. Italy said no. Japan said no. These are supposed to be our partners, our allies. And when President Trump put it to the test during the Iran operation, they showed their true colors. The question isn't whether NATO is worth saving anymore. The question is, why are we still paying the bill? President Trump is finally asking the questions that no other president had the courage to ask, and the answers are going to change everything about America's role in the world. Now, before I show you exactly what the president said, here's something happening right now that you need to know about. We're tracking a developing story out of Washington, one the legacy media does not want you to see. As Iran destabilizes the Middle East, the federal government just made a move that could reshape America's security posture. Now, here's the truth. Our nuclear subs, our warheads, our next-gen power grid, all of it depends on uranium, and we import almost every single pound of it. This is not about energy independence. This is about survival, because a nation that can't power its own military does not control its own destiny. That's why smart investors are watching domestic uranium companies very closely right now. One company positioning itself at the center of this shift is Atomic Minerals, trading as ATMMF in the United States and ATOM in Canada. Do your own research. There's a link below, a briefing for you, but understand this. When national security and investment opportunity intersect, patriots pay attention. Now let me show you the moment that has the globalists absolutely terrified. So I've got some video clips that you need to see. Each one is more explosive than the last. And President Trump held nothing back. By the time you see what our supposed allies did when he needed them most, you're going to understand exactly why he's reconsidering everything. Now let's get right into it. This first one captures the exact moment a reporter asked President Trump point blank about America's future in NATO. Now listen carefully to what he says about his constitutional authority and pay attention to his tone. This is a man who has had it with the freeloaders. Watch.
Are you rethinking the United States' relationship with NATO possibly getting out?
Well, I'm disappointed in NATO that we spend trillions of dollars on NATO. Think of it, trillions over the years, many trillions of dollars. It's one of the reasons we have deficits and we help other countries. And when they don't help us, I mean, it's certainly something that we should think about. I don't need Congress for that decision. As you probably know, I can make that decision myself. I'd work with some very smart people. And I'd always deal with Congress anyway, but I don't need Congress for that decision. But you know, when you say rethink, I have nothing currently in mind, but I will say that I'm not exactly thrilled when we help them with Ukraine. Look, Ukraine would have been over in one day if we didn't help. Frankly, Ukraine would have been over in the first day. They had the best equipment in the world. It was our equipment.
Did you catch that? I don't need Congress for that decision. I can make that decision myself. That is the sound of a president who understands his constitutional power and is not afraid to use it. And when he said we spend trillions and they don't help us, he's speaking for every American taxpayer who's been footing this bill for generations. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Listen to what he says about making this permanent. Watch President Trump talking about the damage done to Iran. But here's what I want you to listen for. He says he wants to make it a little bit more permanent so no future president has to deal with this again. Listen to the reasoning here closely.
Frankly, as somebody said, they could leave today and it would take 10 years to rebuild the damage that's been done. But I think we have to make it a little bit more permanent because no other president has to go through this, and we shouldn't have any other president having to go through this kind of a thing. And if they didn't want to do it, if for some reason they didn't want to do it, we'd have the same problem. We don't ever want to have that problem again, not with lunatics. We can't have lunatics controlling nuclear weaponry. So I just want to thank everybody.
Now think about what he just said. We can't have lunatics controlling nuclear weaponry. That is presidential leadership. He's not just thinking about today, he's thinking about protecting America for generations. 10 years to rebuild the damage. That's how thorough this operation has been. He wants to make sure no future administration can undo it. Now wait till you hear him describe just how decisively we acted. See, the next clip, it's about 2 minutes long. Every second of it is solid gold. President Trump breaking down the Iran operation in detail that you won't hear anywhere else. He talks about the Navy, the Air Force, and a decision that they made about Iran's oil that shows incredible strategic thinking. Watch this.
Iran is just a military operation to me. Iran is something that was essentially largely over in 2 or 3 days because the Navy was wiped out almost immediately. The Air Force came next. The anti-aircraft came next. I mean, we're flying over Iran. We could take out their electric capacity in 1 hour. We have all the, there's nothing they can do right now because everything is knocked out. They have no, again, no radar, no anti-aircraft. They have nothing. And we don't, and it was a decision I made. We discussed it, Pete, Marco, JD, all of us, Chris. We discussed it. We can knock out their electricity in a matter of minutes if we wanted to. There's nothing they can do about it. We can knock out their oil in Carg Island. The only thing we didn't take down was their oil because if we knock out, I call them the pipes, very complex. But if you do that, it'll take them forever to rebuild, meaning whoever, and hopefully it's a sane group of people, but whoever it is that's going to be running that, and we're going to try to get people that are going to run it well, and it's going to be a prosperous, wonderful place. It used to be, if you go back, it used to be the people are great, the people are smart and energetic, and it used to be very successful. Now it's a country run by fear. It's a country where they tell protesters, don't go outside because if you do, we're going to kill you.
2 or 3 days. That's how fast American military power dismantled Iran's defenses. The Navy wiped out, the Air Force gone, their radar and anti-aircraft, nothing. And did you hear what he said? We're flying over Iran. We own their airspace now. But the brilliant part, they chose not to destroy the oil infrastructure so whoever takes over can actually rebuild. You see, that's thinking ahead. But he wasn't done. Listen to what he says about our timeline for leaving. See, this next one is it's a short one, but it packs a punch. President Trump talks about when we're leaving the region, then he drops a line about NATO that will have Brussels scrambling. It's just 23 seconds, but listen to every word.
We're not ready to leave yet, but we'll be leaving in the near future. We'll be leaving in pretty much the very near future. But right now they've been decimated from every standpoint. And again, we've had great support from countries in the Middle East, great support. But we've had no support from, essentially, no support from NATO.
They have been decimated from every standpoint. Mission accomplished. But when he says it, we've had great support from countries in the Middle East, but essentially no support from NATO. There it is, folks. Our Middle Eastern partners showed up. Our European allies, nowhere to be found. Remember that. And then the president explained exactly why that is such a problem. This next one, it's only 15 seconds, but it might be the most damning thing you'll hear today. President Trump summarizes exactly what our NATO partners told him while American forces were in harm's way. And listen to the words that he uses.
Well, no, I just think that it's not good for a partnership when they say what you're doing is a great thing, but we're not going to help. They say what you did is a great thing, but we're not going to help.
What you're doing is a great thing, but we're not going to help. Let that sink in. They admit we're doing the right thing. They know we're protecting their interests too, and they still said no. That's not a partnership, folks. That's not an alliance. That's parasites feeding off American strength while offering nothing in return. But don't take the president's word for it. Take a look at what was just revealed about who refuses to help. This is a breakdown that proves everything President Trump has been saying. They list exactly which countries refuse to send ships and then drop a statistic that will blow your mind about who actually needs the Strait of Hormuz open. This is absolutely incredible. Watch.
So far, Germany, Italy, and Japan have said they will not send ships to the region. Guys, back to you.
Very interesting. Thanks, Steve. Yeah, just to follow up on that, it's pretty amazing that Germany goes, no, I'm not going to do anything. UK says, no, I'm not going to help. France says, I got some in the area. We'll see what I can do. Japan says no. And I think this, we're going to be fine. It's going to be just a couple more weeks that maybe there's more shooting going on. But in the big picture, this backs up what the president's been saying about our allies in times of crisis. Are they going to be there?
Well, especially
in times
when
of crisis?
The president yesterday said we only get 1% of our oil through the Strait of Hormuz. Japan, who's saying they're not going to help and not going to send ships, gets 95%. China, 90%. South Korea, 35%.
Well, they fell for the trap because, as the president said during that press conference yesterday, it's almost a test. He goes, do we really need them? No. He goes, but I kind of want to see what they're going to say to us. Are they going to be there? And they're kind of proving his theory, what he said all along.
Yeah, German.
Did you catch those numbers? America gets just 1% of our oil through the Strait of Hormuz. Japan, who refused to help, gets 95%. China gets 90%. South Korea, 35%. And they nailed it. They fell for the trap. President Trump has been saying for years that our allies take advantage of us, and he just proved it. He set the test and they failed. So where does all of this leave us? Let me bring it all together for you. This is the bottom line. President Trump just did something no president has ever done before. He didn't just talk about NATO being unfair. He tested them. He put American forces in the Middle East, conducted the most decisive military operation in modern history, wiped out Iran's Navy, Air Force, and air defenses in 3 days. And our so-called allies, they sat on their hands. Germany said no. Italy said no. Japan said no, even though they need that oil way more than we do. And now President Trump is making it crystal clear. He has the constitutional authority to pull out of NATO without Congress. I can make that decision myself. The globalist gravy train is over. America first isn't just a slogan anymore. It is straight policy. So, folks, what you've just witnessed is history. A president who finally has the receipts proving what he said all along and the power to do something about it. This is why they fought so hard to keep him out of office. This is why the establishment is freaking out, because Donald Trump isn't playing by their rules anymore. He's protecting America first, last, and always. If this video opened your eyes, share it everywhere. The mainstream media will never show you this. And hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, so you never miss what they're trying to hide. Leave a comment below. I want to know what you think about NATO after seeing this. I'm Gary Franchi from the White House. As always, stay vigilant and stay free.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this. Share this now.